Hello friends, in this video I want to tell you very quickly and in detail how to shape an apple tree and why it is necessary. First, we prune the apple tree so that we can control it, namely to direct the branches where we need them. And pruning also stimulates both new young growth to renew the apple tree itself and stimulates the formation of fruit buds, which will be the basis for the harvest. Therefore, this pruning is for fruiting. When you come to your apple tree, the first thing you need to do is thin out the crown. What is the crown? These are the thick branches that grow from the trunk of the tree. They form the crown, and all the branches that grow inward, we need to remove them. This apple tree is shaped like a bowl. You also need to remove all branches that grow vertically, but you don't have to remove them completely. Because here we have fruit formations, let me introduce you to them and tell you a little bit more about them. These are fruit rings. These are the buds that form on the branches. They are small, but they later form the fruits. There are also fruit bags on the apple tree. On one side we will have a fruit, and on the other side a branch will grow. Also, there is a fruit twig. It grows either from the trunk or from a skeletal branch growing to the side. It can be up to 30 centimeters long, and at its end there is a fruit bud. I've just shown you all the buds that should not be removed from an apple tree in order not to lose the harvest. Now let's start cutting. Cut out the branches that thicken the crown. Be sure to make a cut on the ring. This is a place with ring-shaped formations, and we cut not closer to the trunk, but in the thinnest place in front of these formations. And such a cut, up to 1 centimeter in size, does not need to be covered. It will heal very quickly. Also, as you can see, I had a cicada on my tree. I defeated it and there are no fresh lesions. I'll leave a video on how to do it in the upper right corner. There is one more rule. My pruning shears have a blade on the right side, so it's best to cut with the blade toward the trunk, not vice versa, because this way we get the right cut. If I cut it the other way around, then this part of the pruning shears would pinch the wood, the bark would come off, and this part of the cut would grow back very poorly. But this way, such a cut will grow very well. It does not need to be covered. I have a branch that is very tall. I don't need it that way, so I need to transfer it to a lateral branch so that it is more horizontal. Look at apple trees. The branches that are more horizontal form fruit buds very quickly and start bearing fruit faster. A branch that grows vertically has only growth buds on it. Only shoots will grow from them, forming new branches. And now in this place where I have the thickest branches spreading to the sides, I make a cut without leaving stumps. So you can see better what I mean. As you can see, this branch is growing upwards and I need to make a bowl. Therefore, this branch is growing more horizontally and I am making a cut on it, shortening it. Now it will go a little further and the tree will be more spreading, low and loaded with crops. And in order to maintain the tiering, I cut off this branch here. This branch that grows inside me, I also remove it to the ring. And here is a vertical branch. It is not needed and I transfer it to the thickest side branch. Now, as for the limbs of the young growths, if they are longer than 30 centimeters, which is about 1.5 secateurs, we shorten them by the size of secateurs. And it's best to do it on the outer bud. Cut it off so that the branch goes in that direction. So I make the cut like this. This is the right cut above the bud. This part is just above the bud and the right side is 2 millimeters above the bud. This bud will wake up and start growing to the right side. What do we do with the fruit twigs? If it is longer than the length of the secateurs, we cut it off. If it is the same size or smaller, we leave it. Here we will also have a harvest at the end if you have a branch on the tree that is not horizontal but even lower to the ground. So it will bear fruit, but not for long. Soon it will dry up because it does not grow. I will not cut it off completely, but will cut it to this growth bud. This way we will have growth and the branch will grow normally. And the last thing we need to do to load the tree with fruit buds is to cut off all the tops. If the new growth is longer than the length of the secateurs, then we shorten it by the size of the secateurs from the point where the new growth begins. This is the place where the young growth is going. Old branch, new branch. From this point we measure the length of the secateurs, cut to the outer bud. Now 3 buds will wake up here. One bud will continue to go more vertically, the others more horizontally. The one that goes to the center will be removed later and the one that goes outward will be left. Thus, by pruning, we will stimulate the formation of fruit buds in front of this place. As you can see, they are formed here. Also, here you see fruit buds forming in front of this spot. Remember that such pruning this spring will provoke the formation of fruit buds and a large harvest only next year. So do not think that you have just pruned the tree and it will yield a large harvest this year. No, by pruning we provoke the tree to form fruit buds this year and lay the harvest for next year. Now after such pruning, first of all, we will need to treat our tree with a Bordeaux mixture. I have a very large garden, so when I prune all the trees, I will definitely treat my garden and make a video on this topic. Be sure to prune your trees, so you stimulate and provoke the tree to lay a large number of fruit buds. The more horizontal the branch, the more buds it has. If the branch is already downward, it will not live long and will dry out quickly. Therefore, the branch should have a slight slope, about 60 degrees from the central trunk. Also, the branches should not be too long to the side. They must have the elasticity to support the harvest. If you leave very long branches, they will break from the harvest and also from the winds. And if you have any questions, be sure to ask them in the comments. I will be happy to answer everything. I wish you a good day and see you in the next videos.